What's good, YouTube land? What's up, y'all? What's good? What's good? We got a great person in here today. Yeah, we do. We do. Y'all see him below me and Jay to the Mac. Y'all see him below us. I don't know why J Mac muted. He must be talking to somebody or something. I don't know why he muted. He like, I'm just muted. Anyway, y'all. Okay, look, now he done unmuted himself. Anyway, but we will actually get the show started. We was on J Mac show yesterday. We let y'all know that we was gonna be getting that Diaz for today. So we said we're gonna try to get with them before the football game starts because we know everybody want to watch the Thursday night football game. So
Yes, sir.
we'll probably get it in and get it out. That way, we'll be good. But what I will ask you guys though, anybody that's coming in to come watch this, share this so that way we can get Diaz out there and we can get everybody out there to watch his special. Yeah, I said special. So right below us, y'all, is Diaz Mackie. If you guys watch my show or watch my shows earlier last year, he did a lot of hold on, y'all. Right on cue, my phone ring. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let me.
Rivera, how you doing tonight?
All right. So cool. So sorry about that. So again, y'all, let me do this too. It'll ring again. So we got Diaz on. Like I said tonight, y'all, we're gonna talk about his special. We're gonna show y'all his special, where to go get the special at, and how to support him. Leave some comments, all that other kind of good stuff. What's up, Santos? What's good with you? What's good, Santos? Reviews in the building. So again, y'all, I got 10 up in here right now. I know it might be delayed as far as the notification. So once you guys do notifications, people start coming in, we can start asking some questions. J Matt, you want to say anything to Diaz before we actually start getting into it?
Hey, Diaz, welcome to the show. Some people know you, some people don't. So all I'm gonna say is, man, I'm very proud of you. I like it when I see brothers doing their thing. I know you've been doing it for a while. You've been doing all your acts everywhere. You know, Vegas has been good to you. Bless you, brother. Please, I'm gonna have to do a bow. Please tell us your name, how you get down, and how you be with what you do, my brother.
First of all, thank y'all for having me out. It's been a long time. Both said it's been a year. I think it's been 2. I do want to give a what up though to my Detroit peeps and all the family gang. But yeah, my name is Diaz Mackie, as it's spelled on the thing, DIAZMACKIE. And I'm a comic, stand-up comic. I've been doing it for 16 years now. I'm from Michigan originally, but I started out here in Vegas. And since then, I've traveled all across the country doing comedy. I lived in LA for a while. And I think everybody know I got Me Too, falsely accused, survived that, it seems. And now making that comeback. Everybody loves the comeback story. And I just released my first ever comedy special. It's called Uncomfortably Funny. An Evening with Diaz Mackie. We actually filmed it at the Artisan here in Vegas. And it's a different type of comedy special. It's stand-up, but it's also kind of like a bio as well. It's like a hybrid, something unique and different. Shout out to Sandy Films, Shane Olette, and Andrew, I believe it's Kurzov. But yeah, they were the ones that directed it and filmed it, and went ahead and put it out there on Amazon. It's $4.99 or $7.99 to buy it. HD. Yeah, I had to pay $7.99 to watch myself on TV. It was weird. That was the happiest $7.99 ever spent, though. I wouldn't complain at all.
Oh, man.
But yeah, first ever comedy special. And things are going good right now. I do a show, in fact, tonight in Henderson.
Okay.
Me and Mikey VIP, we have a show out at the Backyard on Water Street. And thank you, show enough. The show is called VIP Section Comedy. right there at 117 South Water Street. We start at 8:15, so it'll be after the football game. And we've had like some great comics like Evan Stone. We had Daryl Blackshear. Brady Matthews. Carlos Anthony is on the bill tonight. Carlos Anthony, very popular with the Part-Time Famous. And then I record a podcast right afterwards called After Party with Diaz, Mackie, and friends. We record it right there in the green room of the place. And it's available on Spotify. It's a good listen. We've had guests from Skills Hudson to Katie Morgan, the very famous porn actress. She was on the last episode. So that's a good listen. We got upcoming projects going on. Katie and I are in talks of doing a podcast ourselves, teaming up and talking on religion and spirituality. A lot of people might not notice about Katie Morgan or myself, but both of us are preacher kids.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people in the adult film industry, either Republican or they grew up in church. So it's a very interesting dichotomy to that. And the plan to do that show is we want to interview everybody from adult film stars to pastors to witches and Wiccans and pagans and all that stuff like that, and just really just talk about and have a growing conversation on spirituality. We also are currently getting ready to cast and still writing out the script for my reality show, fake reality show, called The Misadventures of Diaz, Mackie. And a lot of it's going to be based off of my real life, just scripted since those events have already happened, and then some exaggerated stuff. But my life, you won't be able to really tell the exaggerated from the not. But yeah, so life is good right now.
I'm not going to give the show away, but I like the joke about the list and the thing that you just mentioned about being accused. I agree with you when you said I should have the chance to, right?
Yeah. Rob, without giving it away, the funny thing about that is, and like, so it was supposed to have came out, I believe, last Tuesday, Wednesday. And it didn't drop. And then they were like, it's in processing. Amazon Prime may have to go through quality control to make sure that the audible reaches their standards, the video quality, make sure the closed captioning is correct, and all these things are available. And so they were like, it should be a couple days. It was a full week. I started sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if they saw that joke and was like, we can't put this out. Because like I said in the special, I thought about it and mulled it over the whole time. Like, am I going to force this in there? Because I never really know what I'm going to say until I go on stage. But for that special, I try to have an idea. But I mulled it over that whole time. So when we watched the original viewing a year ago, because I taped that special a year ago, so much bullshit went into that, but it was all God. Everything happens in His timing. So I'm very grateful the way it did end up happening. But when we watched it in the original screening, because you've seen it, they have that dramatic pause. Yeah. Right before I dropped the joke, and when I dropped that punchline, the entire room full of black and whites and Mexicans in unison, oh shit! It was one of the and they started laughing. Then last night, we had the watch party. We had that over at the backyard in Henderson, and I was sitting next to the owners. Beautiful couple, Stephanie and Jake Lucas. And again, seeing that pause and dropping it and hearing that bar go, oh, and them, and seeing their reaction was priceless. I loved it.
Is it true the person that you talked to said the name of the show and that's how you named it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had already been doing this kind of like a bit where I was talking about uncomfortable truths. And then I was in Reno doing a show, and afterwards, a lady came out and she was like, "You're very funny." She was like, uncomfortably funny. And I died laughing. And I looked at it and I said, lady, I think you just named my first special.
That's what's up.
And then it's so funny because I'm doing a show out in Pine Top, Arizona on Monday. The special still hasn't released, but I'm advertising it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say the name of it. And then this lady at it was a very older crowd. I'm sitting here playing my hair and getting used to this look. The lady comes up to me after the show and she was like, you older lady, like 60, 70, you are fucking hilarious. You are so goddamn uncomfortably funny. And I was like, that's the name of my special. Make sure you go and check on Amazon Prime. But yeah, so it was my mom. She was happy with the name because I honestly had actually gave up on the special and was planning on recording another one. I was still going to name that one Uncomfortably Funny because I did want that to be the name of my first special. Watching it last night was cool because it was like, all right, I was just seeing material that I'm burying.
Right.
Because I'm already ready to take the next one, fam. And that's one of the next projects. The next special, I already got the title. It's going to be called Respectfully Disrespectful.
I can't wait to see that one.
And getting ready to release because 2 weeks ago, I did a night out in Durango, Colorado. And so what we're doing with that is we're going to release a digital album, recording from that Diaz, Mackie, A Night in Durango, Colorado.
Okay.
And then from there, we're going to take 100 vinyl record copies. So it's a limited, valuable thing. And put that out there for people to buy. And so we're working on the price with that because it is a limited and that vinyl and that collector's item thing. So, you know, we're not going to try to get out the box with the Yeezys like that, but we can put a value to it.
Right, right.
We got questions in the chat. When is your next live?
My next live, I'm doing a show tonight. I'm over at in Henderson, Nevada, over at the Backyard on Water Street. That's downtown, 117 South Water Street. And that show starts at 8:17. It's right after the football game tonight. And we got a dope lineup. We have Steve Henry from LA, a very funny comic. I have a lady that I'm very interested in seeing I've never seen. Her name is Montana Duran, this white girl from Atlanta. She has a podcast. I've seen some of that, so I'm very interested in seeing that. And then we have a new Jack, and he's starting to get cold feet. He's been texting me, getting scared. He's going by the name of Daddy Mac. But he's a person of affluence, used to be, and decided he wanted to try out comedy. Wasn't say anything. He was a judge, and former judge. And so looking forward to that. And then Evan Stone said he might drop out. So if he comes out, I'm gonna put him back up on stage. But then we have Naomi Starr, who's out here in Vegas, quickly rising, doing her thing in comedy. We got a dude who was also accusing me of rape and calling me a rapist. I'll let you know that I don't hold grudges. I booked him on the show as the feature, Bobby Wayne Stocks.
Okay.
And then our headliner is, like I said, Mr. Part-Time Famous Carlos Anthony. So looking forward to a good show.
Now, when you was explaining the two parts of Vegas, see, I always talk to Bo about coming out to Vegas, and Vegas always wanted to put me down at that other end. I said, no, I want to be where the rich people at.
Right? Yeah, you don't want to stay at the Stratosphere Circus. Like if you find yourself at Circus, like sometimes I don't even get mad at it though. Like to be honest, it do kind of make sense because that's a $9 room, and you come to Vegas, you don't want to be in your room but to sleep. I don't need to sleep, and like. It's nice to wake up to a big bed and all that stuff like that, but I ain't trying to spend time in my hotel room. I'm trying to be on the street. So.
Right.
But yeah.
That's usually what it's supposed to be for. I mean, especially the ones that live here. You don't want to be in your room all the time. You want to come and actually enjoy the city.
If you live here and you're doing a staycation, you shouldn't be at Circus. You need to be at the south end of the strip. You want to be at the Cosmo or the Aria or shit.
But you got to think about it, though, too. Circus is more family oriented anyway.
Circus.
If anybody know, I know it's family oriented.
It's ghetto and broke. It is not family oriented.
Oh,
They
damn.
got roller coasters in there. They tell you to bring your kids. All them creepy ass child molesting clowns. That's family oriented. Vegas
Wait.
ain't family oriented. I don't know. I don't understand people who bring their children to Vegas on vacation. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I like want to walk up to them and smack the shit out of them. Like, get a babysitter. This ain't Disneyland, bitch.
Wait. So just so, because I know me and Bo are gonna talk about this in the background. But what? Without giving away, what hotel are you affiliated with?
Oh no, trust me. I love my job.
Oh, Bo, you work at Circus?
I know you do, bro. I know.
I love my job, but you gotta think about it. People that come in to come to Circus, they have their opinion. Right. So you gotta think about it. This like Diaz just said. I don't see why you bring kids to Vegas. I don't understand why you come to Vegas to argue. You know what I'm saying? You on vacation.
Oh, no, why you come to argue? But you get drunk and shit started happening. You start sitting there eye wandering, or you done met a girl at the crab tables and you trying to start an argument so you can go get that sneaky link. That's why you argue in Vegas. People like, oh shit, let me blow this relationship up real quick. So I can go fuck this thick bitch I just saw.
But that's the gist of it for me. That's why I said for him to say it, trust me, it doesn't beat me up because I have the up and downs of it. I have some people that love Circus. I have some people who be like, really? And then I loved a little bit when he
love Circus, pray for them.
Pray for them.
Yeah, you don't just love Circus. You love being cheap and you love weird shit. You know what I mean? Like, even the roller coaster, that's scary. And they scary because it's like an exciting ride. It's scary because that motherfucker's so rickety, you think this might fall apart. I might be on the next viral video and people doing it side by side, watching me on this roller coaster and be like, oh.
Yes, when was the last time you been at Circus?
The last time I've been in Circus? When was the last time I was homeless?
So that's my point right there. That's my point right there, y'all. That's my point.
I think I paid this stay in that suite for a couple of days so I wouldn't be in the street. Yeah, sir. But I did it because it was cheap. And I knew I was going to smoke weed in my room. You know what I mean? Like Circus, you don't give a fuck about that resort fee. I'm finna blow in here.
He's like, I'm good. He said, did he say what?
Did both say recommends hotels that the showers is the sink in your dry off? I had to read that like I was uneducated because that was the way you wrote that shit. I felt like I was a boxer talking to people. You know them punch drunk? The interview?
Okay.
Wait a minute. I recommend it. I didn't recommend anything. I said I made a statement as far as people. Some people love it. Some people don't. I didn't recommend no hotel because there's a couple of hotels that I stay at that you would think they should be good inside, but Diaz will tell you no, they're not. They have horrible rooms. So they outside look great, but when you get inside, you're like, huh, for real? So I mean,
yeah, it's a lot of them on that northern end of the side of the strip. Well, you might get bed bugs.
See, I had to go look up Circus just to look at the rooms. They don't look bad.
Say, Mac, don't listen to everything Diaz. You only get takes. You got to think about it. At the end of the day, J Mac, what is Diaz?
A comedian.
Yeah, so he's supposed to. You got to think about it. Everything that's funny. He's supposed to crack on it. So I don't mind him cracking on it.
The casino gave her crabs. I was like, bitch. You didn't get crabs from the casino.
So you gotta think about it.
I just say my old girl, not my current one. I don't want people thinking this.
Okay. Okay. His girl be like, what did this guy gave you?
You got gonorrhea from the tractor. Get the fuck out of here.
Get this smack up out of here. Right. So you've been waiting for your special to come out for a whole year?
For a whole year. It's such a crazy story behind it. I'm finna get into it. I had one of the special was pitching the idea to a couple people. And at the time, this dude, Artemio Rios, Johnny Dangerously online, go by Trouble. He was running a show over at the Artisan, Trouble in Vegas. And went over there and I did a spot over there. And I was like, I like this room. I was like, I think I want to shoot my special in here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, yeah, that's a great idea. I got everything. Don't worry about it. And I'm like, well, shit, you finna pay for the production? You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. All right, cool. So he did set up the people who did direct it and ended up producing it. But the reason why we waited a year is because the motherfucker never paid anybody.
Oh.
Like, I never got paid that night for the show. I had Ricky Burns host it. Ricky Burns never got paid. I had Tony B, the hip-hop violinist. I had him open up for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of comics, they do especially have other comics do that shit. I was like, nah, I ain't finna have no other jokes. I'm finna have hip-hop musician and then go out there and just do my thing. He didn't get paid. DJ Mr. Twist, I paid him out of my pocket that evening because I know he got a family and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so dude never paid for it. And then the director, I didn't know any of this was going on. So the director put us in a group chat on Instagram and was like, look, I ain't been paid. I'm sitting on this. I'm getting ready to fucking delete it if I don't get my money here and there. And I'm like, whoa. Don't delete it. You know what I mean? Like, don't destroy your good work. That's some good work. I was like, let me see what I can do and come up with it because I was planning on buying it, but I had just moved to Oregon. I had moved to Oregon last year about this time. I fell in love with a witch.
You said you fell in love with who?
A witch. A psychic medium. Yeah. So went out to fucking Portland, Oregon, the home of witchcraft. So I didn't have the money. Like, I had just invested everything in that. I was like, fuck. Like, if you'd have told me like 2 weeks ago, I'd have paid for this right there.
Right.
But so I tried pitching it to different producers for them to go buy it, and then they shop it to Netflix or Amazon. And I gave up on it, like I said earlier. And to be honest, like 4 weeks ago, I was working a catering gig over at Allegiant Stadium. I was working a weekend concert. And I'm sitting there getting the food ready, getting ready to serve it, putting it in the fucking little serving dishes. And this dude walks up to me and goes, "Oh my God, you're Diaz Mackie." And I was like, "Yeah." You know, how you doing? And he was like, "Man, I just watched your special. My brother taped you at the show. It's fucking hilarious, bro." Da, 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 da. And while he talking to me, I'm thinking, which show did somebody bootleg record me on that, you know what I mean? They show my shit, you know? So I'm like, yeah, still working, you know what I mean? But kind of not like halfway at the same time paying attention. I'm giving them half-ass attention, to be honest, kind of rudely. And then he goes, "Yeah, the fact you called it uncomfortably funny, genius." And I turned around and was like, "Who's your brother again? What's your record?" That caught all my interest. I'm like, and he was like, "Yeah, my brother Andrew." He was with Shane, and he said Shane that the name didn't click right away. And he was like, "Yeah, he's here." He was like, "He'll be out here in just a second." And he comes out, and I didn't recognize him right away. He kind of looked a little familiar. But then he started talking about Trouble and all the bullshit that he was doing while the special hadn't gotten out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I don't even fuck with that dude anymore. And when I started talking to him, it all clicked. And I'm like, bruh, why don't you and Shane just do a little bit more editing, do anything that he had anything associated with, crop it out, and just drop it. And I was like, y'all get the producer credit, give me my writing and some production and whatever have you. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I just want it to be out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, this one, I'm not trying to get rich off of. I want to make money off of it indeed. So please buy it because I got kids. I got a 20-year-old daughter. She's gonna be 21 here in a couple months, and I'm trying to stop her from starting up my OnlyFans page. You feel me? Like, So
Hey.
we doing that as I tell that joke on the special, but that is the truth. That's not just a joke. But yeah, so I'm talking to him and just really talking shit. Like, y'all should just drop it, blah, 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 blah. The next week, I'm sitting there. I have a comedy show out. It's a Thursday. I get a call early that day saying that my son, God bless him, 22 years old, proud Marine, get a call early that day saying that he is being promoted to sergeant.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, E5, baby.
That's right.
And so, and I had such a dope moment. I went out to a ceremony last week to pin him. And after the ceremony, we was walking to the car so we could go out to dinner. And white boy walks by and was like, "What up, Corporal?" All casual. And my son very casually was like, "A sergeant now." And I watched this white boy turn around, about face, "Sorry, my apologies, sorry, Sergeant," salute him. And that shit felt so good to see as a dad. Like, that shit was powerful, bro.
Right.
It was like when Malcolm X got released out of jail in that movie.
Yeah.
And the crowd was cheering, and he put his hand up, and then he pointed his finger out, about face and turn. And the policeman was like, "That's too much power for a nigga to have." That's how I felt. I was like, "That nigga cool."
Hey,
White boy saluted him. You know what I'm saying?
Much respect to your son, and thank him for his service.
Yeah. So that night, at the same time, I already knew it was gonna be wild bananas because I knew that I had Evan Stone on the show, famous adult film star, porn legend, and so I knew that a lot of the adult film actresses and stars would be there in support. And then I also had we do this segment every week on our show we call the NEWTECH. And what that is anybody that's ever wanted to do comedy for the first time, or they haven't done it at least 10 times, I give you an opportunity on a feature show to go up. And so this guy from the Henderson Fire Department, because they had swung by the show and liked it, said that he wanted to go up. And so they were on the show. The show we were well beyond capacity. And I even said that there. And I was like, but thank God half y'all the fire department, so we won't get in trouble. But the show was bananas. And I'm sitting there, I'm partying afterwards with Evan Stone and Katie Morgan and Pariah Anjali Rai and some other celebrities and stars, ex-NFL football players in there and stuff like that that came in. And I get a call from Shane. And I'm like, "I'm pretty busy right now, shit crazy. Let me hit you back." And he sends me a text. "I got good news, call me." So I call him, or I text him, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, after everything is kind of simmering down and shit, like all the wildness, which I learned that it wasn't simmering down, it just ended up being halftime. So I text him like, "Whenever you want to, like, you can call me. I'm up. And if I fall asleep, I'll put my ringer on so to wake me up." He calls me right back and was like, "Your special's dropping August 31st. And I was like, "Oh shit!" So then the nigga had to go buy a bag, and we kicked off the celebration some more.
You said you had to go buy a bag.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay, I know what that means. I'm like, what?
He had the good.
Yeah.
Me, I was gonna say something dumb. Back of what?
So yeah, so like I said, with all of that, the culmination, it has been a year. It's crazy because they gave Trouble a production credit on it. This dude has been going nuts. He acting like Dame Dash when Jay-Z left. Like, it's crazy. This dude inboxing strangers, sending my fucking mugshot, giving his lion crying testimony, talking about he was homeless and I gave him a place to stay. And I'm like, nigga, first of all, I wasn't homeless. I moved in with you because you did have a bigger room, but I was paying your rent. Like this nigga, and then that's how we got evicted. It's because the nigga wasn't paying the rent. I'm giving him money and he's not paying the money. He was on that fucking trying to ride out that COVID shit. Remember that when you did that moratorium?
Uh-huh.
And then fucking kicked his ass out. But the whole time, because I was working a decent job, he borrowing $200 or $300 from me a day. I'm making at least $500 a day cash.
Right.
Without cashing my checks. I'm like, here, Gucci. You know what I mean? Give back to me.
Yeah.
So all the little stories and all that shit like that. This nigga owe people money for a whole year, and he run around crying. I'm being all disgruntled. I'll be like, nigga, be happy you got an IMBD credit. This is probably the biggest thing you've ever been a part of in your life. Because this is history. But this is only the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
iconic. Make sure y'all go get it, y'all. Diaz, Mackie, uncomfortably funny. Make sure
what I
y'all
like about this one too is everything that I don't like. That night that I taped it, I didn't want to tape it then. That night, I was irritated with him then.
Okay.
And the only reason why I still filmed it is because I had so many people who flew into Vegas from different states so that they could be in the audience for my first recording. People from Phoenix, Arizona, California, New York, Michigan. It was crazy. And so Minnesota. And so I went up and did it, but like the sound quality there, it was fucked up. It was visible. It was like noticeably fucked up there. The lighting was fucked up. And right before I went on stage, Shane walked up to me. He was like, "I know the sound's gonna be horrible." He was like, "But just know that we can fix that in post-op." So I'm going through the motions, really in it. Like I'm not enjoying my time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have fun with it, but it was work. It was, that's why Shane and Andrew deserve a lot of credit because they did clean it up. The production quality of it is amazing. I wish the crowd would have been the mic a little bit better. But last night, me watching it at the watch party and with surround sound and not watching it on my fucking phone like I do everything. I appreciate it last night that the crowd's not there because honestly, this special and Matt, since you said you liked it and things like that, like give your opinion on it. I think that this is one of the rarest times that you actually get a comedy special where the jokes are being told to the audience that's there, but it's really not. Those jokes are for you at home.
Right.
Like they're being told directly to you for you to enjoy and for your reaction from the jokes. Like you're not getting that contagious. I'm laughing at that because the crowd is laughing at it. You're laughing at that because you're like, oh shit, I thought this was funny. Like that nigga said that.
Right.
So is that? I'm gonna ask you, how did you feel about it?
You know what? On a couple of the jokes, I did get that. Matter of fact, a couple of times I ran it back on a couple of jokes, and each time I laughed at each one of those jokes, but I also knew how you was carrying your voice and where it was being directed to. So yeah, I caught that.
Yeah. So at first I watched it like I was happy it was coming out, but I'm like, last night I was like actually proud of it. I'm like, this is actually an excellent comedy special, especially for the first one. And even with the documentary, the little bio parts and all that, we did all of that in one take.
Well, it was still good how they brought the documentary part into it.
Yeah. And we did
I like how they brought it into the actual comedy show. So I did like that.
And then we got a shout out. We had Robert Twix Taylor, who just ran for mayor of North Las Vegas. We got him in there. A little cameo. We had Thomas Ward from Def Comedy Jam. He has a quick little cameo in there. Tyra Farah, Thomas Easter. We got some. And then Samson. He a Vegas rapper. That's the music that I walk out to. That's Samson. Campfire music and stuff like that back in the day. But he's doing his thing. So yeah. And then not giving too much away, but I was very surprised. I had forgot. And so that might have also been another reason why it took so long for them to clear it. Is they cleared that Red Hot Chili Pepper song.
At the end, what's crazy is that was the first joke. The first joke that I heard you do on your when I first started following my brother.
Yeah, that. So I did.
And you were doing that on open mic though.
Yeah. So and I forced that joke in because of that. I did want to get on a special, hoping that we could get the rights from Red Hot Chili Peppers to clear it, and God bless them, they did. But that Steve Irwin joke that I tell is the very first joke that I ever wrote because it wasn't a joke. When I originally came up with that, it was supposed to be a sketch because I wanted to create a sketch show at the Chappelle Show. Well, prior to the Chappelle Show, I was probably one of the only niggas that was pissed off when the Chappelle Show came on. Because I was like, I loved it and I was mad because I was like, that's my fucking idea. I was like, fuck, no, I can't do it. So the Steve Irwin was a sketch that I was going to do, him looking for baby daddies, crackheads, all that stuff like that. So I forced that joke on the special because I felt like it should be on my first special. And then the Red Hot Chili Peppers is a bit that I wrote within the first 6 months of me ever doing comedy. And that joke originally came about, I was teasing old comic, former comic, Buffet Jackson. He was sad and depressed because his girlfriend had just broke up with him. And that joke originally went to REM, Everybody Hurts, Everybody Cries. And then one day on the fly, I told Twist to do Red Hot Chili Peppers. And it worked so well from the very first time that became the joke.
Now, did you know the two big guys that was sitting in the front, the one you shook the hand and the one that had the red hat on?
I know the one that has the red hat on now. That's TK. He has YouTube, TK Garage. He does stuff on cars and shit like that. I had briefly met him, but I didn't know him like that then. The guy that shook hands with me was so fucking awkward because what I was doing was I had my hand up and I was lowering the music to my hand and bringing it down like it was all. And when I come in, he fucking grabbed my hand and shook it. I was like, what the fuck? That was such a weird, awkward moment.
I saw the look on your face.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay, like that just happened. But yeah.
Wait a minute, you know what?
I was not trying to shake his hand. That motherfucker just grabbed my hand and was like, yeah.
You know what's funny to me? Doing your special, you do it anyway. But what's funny to me is the way you look in your glass to be like, is there something in there?
Right.
And then you look up, you start back talking to people, and you look back into it. I be cracking up. I be like, Diggs, you gonna drink it? Or is there something in there?
Hey, I'm finna give y'all a secret that like magicians wouldn't do. That's me pausing because I never know I don't have it planned set. I'm moving in the magic of the moment, and I'm building a different puzzle every time. So that's kind of me thinking of where am I going next?
That's off the dome. That's off the dome.
Dramatic pause for the setup. Oh my God.
So he be like, all right. All right. And he was how it was, so that must be cracking me up. I'd be like, no, he didn't.
Did you get a chance to meet the so-called Karen that was heckling you?
Yeah. We talked, and she wanted to buy me drinks and shit like that afterwards.
No, I laugh too. When somebody say you live, you always get that one person that say, when you live, you always get that one person to say, this is going to be live, it's on film. You always got somebody yelling. So they can hear that voice and be like, hey, that was me. Yeah,
they were a couple that were from, I forget what state. Maybe somewhere like Montana. I know it was somewhere super white. But they didn't come to the show to see the special. They were staying at the Artisan, probably swingers. And was just like, oh, since, if you're a hotel guest, it's like free entry. We can't keep you from the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they were sitting there and enjoying themselves, and she decided to invoke herself into the special.
Hey, look at you.
And it's probably not the first time, but it's probably the first time in a long time that you get to see a black man call a white woman a bitch. So, shut up, bitch, and get away with it. Black privilege is amazing right now.
See, and when you did that, in a way, well, because Show Enough had watched the show and talk about the guy in the red hat, and when she did that, I was like, are those his bodyguards up near the stage?
No, I didn't have bodyguards because this was before Will Smith was smacking comedians. This is
That's right.
Pre comedians getting smacked.
Be like this was pre-smack.
Right.
That apology is crazy as hell, but I believe him.
Mm-hmm.
You hear him talking about he was hazy, like he was in the haze. You don't remember? Because that he smacked him because of that damn vaccine. Because you see, when he first heard the joke, he was laughing, and then he heard Alpha Bravo smack Rock Delta, and he went up there and just smacked the shit out. He sat down, and he was like, "What happened? What just happened?" And then Bill had to grab him. Was like,
he walked up the stage laughing. I'm like, why you laughing?
yeah, that damn vaccine, bro. That mRNA that just got that brain.
The vaccine got him. Hey.
Right. The vaccine and all that, and maybe a little inappropriate, but I do want to think of it because it does tie me into it. I want to say rest in peace to David A. Arnold.
You got a question?
An amazing comic. He mentored so many comics. Husband, a father, a son. This is a good friend, but rest in peace. He had a heart attack and spontaneously died. Healthy man, was sober, clean. So our prayers and things like that go out to his family, his friends, and all that. And Teddy Ray, who just recently passed as well. And then mourning the 1 year death of Fuquan Johnson. Comics is it's tough out here right now.
Yeah, it is. Got a question, Diaz?
How much of your stand-up routine is on the spot? Pretty much all of it. I will tell you. I never know what I'm going to say until I grab the microphone. The only thing that I know that I might say, which now I got to kill this because I just used it in that special, was let's get drunk, let's make some bad decisions. Somebody break out the cocaine, let's go fuck a midget. And the reason why I would do that is because if I'm like, hey, let's get drunk, let's make some bad decisions, and I see the crowd, and get amped, I know I got a party crowd. And then I escalate a little bit more. Somebody break out the cocaine. If I hear them, woo, with that, okay, I know for sure I got a party crowd, and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then let's go fuck a midget. That is also for the laugh to get out of it. Then hit him with the punch. You know, the hardest thing about fucking a midget is trying to catch them. That's why I need the cocaine. But if I see them go nuts on that, I know that I can do whatever the fuck I want from whatever I'm thinking in my head. If I see them withdraw or get quiet, I know from there to clean my shit up and work cleaner than I would normally probably do. So that's why I use that. But yeah, to answer that question, I'm not going to sit here and give you a false belief that all of it I'm making up right there on the spot, because there are jokes that I've worked out on the spot at a different show and was like, oh, that worked and that was funny. I'm keeping that, blah, blah, blah. And I start doing different variations of it and blending it into a joke. But yeah, I never know the order of it or what I'm going to say until I touch that microphone. And then a lot of that comes out sometimes, especially if I'm in a zone. Like I've done shows where everything I've said was fresh. You know what I mean? Like none of it was an old joke that fit. So, and I kind of touched on it earlier. When I'm on stage, it's like a blank canvas, but I see the puzzle pieces. And the puzzle pieces are either old jokes or thoughts that I've had. Like tonight I perform, I'll probably talk about the Queen dying. Because it's crazy to me that I see black people, rest in peace to the Queen. I'm like, how are you mourning a fucking colonizer, oppressor, with an incestual family fucking history and they pedophiles? Get the fuck out of here. Like, these niggas is weird in this generation, B. So I'll probably talk about that. That'll be all off the top of my dome to answer that question the long way.
All right, let me ask you this. Like, there's a lot of comedians I like watching, and a lot of, have their own series on whatever platform, right? So they'll do a comedy show live or it's taped. But then the same comedian, let's say they come to your city and they do the same joke that they did a comedy show a year ago. How do you avoid that?
So, I mean, people have sets. Like, there are comedians that have been telling the same set in the same order for 20 years. Like road comics.
Mm-hmm.
He muted himself.
I muted myself. I'm talking to my girl. I'm like, baby, because I'm trying to thaw some
Oh.
chicken. I got it on the patio. I'm like, baby, can you bring that chicken here? And she still ain't like responded. Babe,
Give me that piece of chicken.
can you bring the chicken in so I can start cooking it?
But J Mac, I found that out through Monty, because when he kept telling jokes, and I would hear the same joke, and then sometimes you hear the same set, but then sometimes they changes it up words here and there, but it's practically almost the same joke, but they change it up here and there. But and then some of them practice on that set, so that's why I could
your average comedian has a set. Where they go up and they build that set, and then they've written out jokes. They're going to open mics, rehearsing these jokes. They're practicing in the mirror, timing themselves, trying to get it down on it. I don't do any of that. So, but I do repeat jokes. You know what I mean? For me, sometimes I really like a joke. Like for a while, was doing that COVID material every time I had a chance. You know what I mean? About I felt like COVID was playing a game of tag, the Squid Game edition, because they had rules. As long as you were sitting down, eating, and drinking, and smoking a cigarette, not it, you safe. But I like, because that was a joke that tickled me, and so I would tell that more. You know what I mean? But can't do it for the special.
Okay, so let me ask you this too. Okay, now everybody is always thinking highly of themselves. So I'm gonna just put you on the spot right now. You say I'm the GOAT because I know how to tell jokes and all like that. Who would you consider as a comedian, male or female, as a GOAT of all time?
Dylan. No. Of all time. Ooh. So I have my favorites, but of all time, you got to go with Richard. Richard changed comedy so much. Because he brought that vulnerability of truth in it, and just exposing yourself and your demons and owning them and pressing boundaries. Bill Hicks, legendary, more of that philosopher type of a comic. And in the lines with George Carlin, even Bill Cosby, outside of the rape, very brilliant comic. The rape aside, got to compartmentalize.
No rape, the pills, everything aside. Drink.
Yeah. You got to compartmentalize, separate the rapist from the genius. But Dick Gregory one.
Where would you put Dave Chappelle?
That's what I was getting ready to go to, because Dave Chappelle is my favorite comic. But I know that he's walking in the same path that was paved.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. He is kind of a hybrid where, because his style has changed, he's evolved over the years, and that's why I would say Chappelle, because I like his evolution. Because he used to be just like a joke teller or saying something funny, and now he is definitely more that philosopher. I'm gonna say something poignant.
Right.
Yeah. And then within that, Louis C.K. kind of goes in there. Although I'm not a big Louis C.K. Fan. Seinfeld. Chris Rock.
I like me some Chris.
So many other talented comics. I know that I'm missing so many. Willie Barcena is actually a beast that I think is underrated. Right. Willie Barcena is fucking a beast. And, Shang. But Shang's not, and I don't want to say this and it sound like a diss. I wouldn't put him in that fucking poignant category. It's very entertaining, funny as fuck.
And you remember?
Chappelle's a beast. I mean, now he's the current living GOAT, I would say.
Do you remember what was the? Excuse me for saying it like this, but the big white guy, red guy from down south that passed some time ago, and had that voice that.
Ralphie Nay.
Ralphie.
Ralphie is one of the co-creators and co-producers of the Dirty at 12:30, a very successful show that Gabe Lopez, the other half of that production, still hosts and runs over at South Point.
Okay.
At 12:30 Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the show that I did that Rob Snyder saw me on when he decided he wanted to cast me for his TV show, Real Rob.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So I always will have fondness, love, and respect for the Dirty. And then Gabe's wife, fiance, his better half partner. She's an amazing photographer. She does all the photography. She's the one that, if you do follow me on social media, she was the one that did my headshots, Tina Kampies. So she does, I think it's Quick Style Photography is the name of it. So if you're looking for headshots, I would definitely look her up, or Nancy Ryan. I would recommend them both, highly recommended for headshots.
Okay. You said it's Quick Style Photography.
I believe that's it.
Okay, that's it.
But Tina Kampies. But yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns?
Any other questions? I know everybody.
And I want to say showing up, and everybody else who said anything. Thank you all again for watching the special. Share it with a friend. Encourage people. We are trying to do numbers and make Amazon green light my next deal before I even put it out there. Because they're like, oh, this motherfucker's a presence.
Right.
And stand up, White Cloud, Michigan, Detroit. That's when I was doing the podcast stuff. Remember that when I was in Michigan when we were doing?
Yeah.
On the Monday Night Raw, I was doing some of them from White Cloud and a lot of them from Detroit.
That's what's up. Now,
Michigan, stand up. We in this bitch.
Now, see, I wonder if Bo had this written down, but in your not so busy schedule, would you be able to come back on to the show and do some live comedy?
You know what? It's so funny because I was just talking about this the other day. Because we was talking about doing the internet shows and the weirdness of it and all that. And I was like, because we hated the Zoom shows. And I was like, what I loved about the format that you guys presented and allowed me to access was that our format was unique and it was working. You know what I mean? And it was fun.
Right.
And I actually had really fell in love with it. And then I started doing live shows and was like, fuck that Zoom shit. But I have been thinking about doing something here and there because there are people that are seeing me in Vegas, and I'm just now starting to travel again and get all the way out. So again, buy the special and then go to your local comedy clubs or your bars. I will do bar mitzvahs, funerals, divorce parties, going to jail parties.
Look,
just hit me up and I'll be out there.
You got to get in touch with the Funny Bone out here in Columbus. I promise you'll have a crowd.
oh yeah, let's do it. And then probably get into a fight because y'all Columbus. Because, you know, go blue, baby. Go blue.
That's
Like,
what's up.
yep.
That's what's up.
But yeah, we could possibly do that. Figure out a night of the week.
Okay.
We do something like real quick.
Okay.
All right.
See what comments is willing to do
We'll
it.
definitely get together. I definitely call you and get together with you to find out, you know, what's good, and then of course we'll let everybody know, and then of course we'll put it out in the
I
atmosphere.
need to be doing it because that was some amazing money some nights. I was like, shit, I done got $900. I was doing
quick
15
question.
minutes of jokes. I was like, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. You
There
said
you go, right
you do a show at Flagstaff, Arizona.
Yes, I have headlined at the Flagstaff Theater multiple times.
What's up?
Yeah. I'm hoping to go back out there soon. I know that they're getting ready to have a Flagstaff Comedy Festival. So I don't know if I'll go out there for that, but hopefully JC will bring me out again soon. Again, purchase the special because it helps. It increases my bookability.
Okay. For y'all that's watching, before we do end the show, y'all that's watching, make sure when we end the show, make sure you share it on your Facebook, your Instagram. Make sure y'all share it. That way he's getting out there. They'll know to come watch it.
Yeah, and they tag me so I know that you said it. That way I can big up you and thank you myself too.
Mm-hmm.
That part, y'all. That part. Diaz, anything you want to say to the good people before we actually let them go? Because I know most of them is actually tuning in and starting to watch the football game. But is there anything you want them to know before you get up out of here?
Again, Uncomfortably Funny, Amazon Prime, $4.99, $7.99. That's it. Download my podcast. After Party.
What's the podcast?
After Party with Diaz, Mackie, and Friends. And it's the W with the slash with. I didn't want to spell out with. And it's the and sign, not the word and. So it's Diaz, Mackie. It's After Party, pardon me. After Party.
Or actually, text it to me, Diaz.
You said what?
Text it to me.
Yeah, and that's on Spotify, and it's a good listen. It's very interesting. I think it's different. Y'all gonna enjoy it. It's entertaining.
Okay.
And they're not very long. Try to keep the podcast over 37 minutes, under an hour. So we fluctuate that, so it's easy listening. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe a little car ride, wherever you're going or whatever. Be on the lookout for that. And then right now, that's all that we got going. If you're in Vegas or in the Vegas area, come out to the backyard tonight and come kick it with us. The comedy show starts at 8:15. You want to watch football? Watch football out there. There's so many TVs out there. It's a dope-ass environment. 420 friendly if you smoke in the back. So, But come out, have a good time with us. Like I said, it's the VIP section comedy show tonight. We got Carlos Anthony, very funny headliner. Who's done this thing, originally from Arkansas. It's blowing up out here in Vegas. And yeah. Mikey VIP in the after party afterwards. Music spinning. And maybe they'll replay my comedy special again. Who knows?
There we go.
What about you, Mr. J Mac? You got anything you want to say before we let everybody go?
Oh, just thank you for everybody for coming on and tuning into the Boknows and J Mac show, and thank you to our brother, our guest Diaz Mackie. Like I said, I'm so proud to see brothers out there doing this thing and my man doing this thing. So make sure y'all buy his video, and put it out there. My brother wants to be known, and he's known. Put that video out there.
I'd like to thank y'all. Thank all the viewers who chimed in. Thank you all for your comments. Thank you all, like I said, who have watched before. But J Mac and Bo, thank you, brothers. I appreciate the love y'all continuously. And thank y'all for having me on. Till the next time, may the Lord watch between me and thee. While we're absent one from another, watch and pray.
Amen.
That part, y'all. Hey, without y'all know, ain't no us. So again, appreciate y'all for coming over, Diaz.
Follow me on all the social media platforms.
Follow them, y'all. Diaz Mackie.
Twitter. Follow Facebook. I'm on everything except for TikTok because I'm a grown ass man.
He said he don't do TikTok. Do you watch TikTok?
And if the Lord puts it on your heart, you can hit that Cash App and that Venmo. Same name, no gimmicks. Diaz Mackie, DIAZ-MACKIE. The Lord loves a cheerful giver. Give it, it shall be given unto you. And if you do give, may the Lord bless you back. Some 10, some 20, some 30, some 100-fold. In Jesus' name.
That worked, y'all. With that being said, we gonna watch some football, and I'm gonna toot my horn again. Do not forget to share the video.
Who y'all going for, the Rams or the Bills? I got Stafford.
I got the Rams.
Hold on, I got one more thing. Football is boring.
Oh, so yeah, I was in a short film called Rainbow. Yeah, it was a gay Rambo thing. I was a hostage and real Rob. Yep.
Look, Sorbo said, I remember.
Appreciate it.
LJ said Buffalo. I actually think Buffalo because they got so much going on, and like I don't think the Rams are gonna be ready. Even though they say most Super Bowl champs, they record is like 14-1 or something after they come back from actually winning that first game, coming back. So, but Buffalo ready. I think Buffalo ready this year.
Like I love Tom Brady because he went to Michigan. So when he played with the Pats, I root for them with them because I'm a Lions fan, and so as a Lions fan. You love the Lions, but you know you're going to give up on them like before mid-season. So you always have to have a dark horse team that you're really rooting for. So my team has always been the Lions where Tom Brady was at. But because Stafford was a Lion, and he was a faithful Lion. The organization did him wrong. I got to go with the Rams.
Okay. So Rams, Buffalo. What about you, Jim? Rams, Buffalo tonight.
I got the Rams.
Rams, all right. I ride with you, LJ. Buffalo. So, with that being said, y'all, we will chit chat with y'all. See y'all next week. My cousin should be on next week, so we will talk to him next week, and then we'll go at it from there. If you guys missed it, make sure you come back and rewatch the show. But after the show, y'all share it. I'm actually finna share it on my Facebook right now.
Yep.
So y'all have a good one. Y'all have a good night. Deuces, love, peace, chicken grease. We out this mother.
Okay.
Haha.